Thank you all for being here today. This is such an important conversation. I think that a lot of Angelinos right now, we don't know what's going on after these fires. My name is Haely White. I'm a creator, producer, and my focus is bringing women together to raise collective consciousness. I do women's events in LA, and I'm so honored to be here with these amazing doctors talking about one of the worst urban fires we've ever had and what we're doing to heal from it and how we're healing our bodies and our community and moving forward together. So I'll let you guys introduce yourself first and tell me a little bit about your specialty, and then we'll dive right in.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Sogol Ash. I'm a functional medicine and naturopathic doctor. I'm the longevity director here for Concierge MD. We have a booth right there. We specialize in longevity, functional medicine, and also everything toxin related, so mold, chronic illness, anything like that.
Hi, my name is Dr. Ashley Beckman, and I'm a doctor of Chinese medicine, functional medicine specialist. I work a lot and am a clinical director of longevity as well for other practitioners, and I focus on mold and Lyme and different toxins and how to get them out of your system using different methods, but combining Chinese medicine, epigenetics, and functional medicine strategies.
Thank you for being here. We need you guys more than ever. You are the healers who are driving this conversation forward. So for the people that are looking to come back to their homes or making a return, what is kind of on the forefront of your mind as a safety concern, and what can we expect for those who are trying to go back to their homes?
So again, there's different levels of looking at this, right? So some of us, if you were close to the fires, but you were able to go back because you weren't in an active zone, that your home still needs a lot of help and a lot of care, depending on where you are. So air filtration is really critical. If there was any sort of layer that you could see, that's very important to get that cleaned up professionally. And also, again, I'm a huge fan because I work so much with indoor air health and quality. So I'm very, very tied to certain air filters that are just extremely effective. Most of them are not, right? And so when you're dealing with VOCs, mycotoxins, which would be mold, and then different contaminants that have come into your home from the fires, it's really, really critical. I can go into the brands I like if you want.
Is that helpful, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about specifics, because this is what we need to know.
So the only two I suggest are Jasper, which is new on the market. It's kind of like the fancier one. Love it. And the owner is amazing. And it's basically a professional air scrubber, but for your home and beautiful. My go-to standard is Austin Air. I love them. Their filters last for 5 years. And both of these are metal. They're not plastic air filters. So that's also important.
And how is that important? I mean, I know about plastic and metal, but
The metal you can clean. Most of the air filters, actually, if you had an incident in your home, you're supposed to throw them away and get a new one. But the metal ones, you can clean and get a new filter.
I didn't know that. Did you guys know that? See, this is why we need talking about it.
Do you want to add some on?
Yeah? Okay, great. Sogol, what are your thoughts about those who are going back to their property and they're sifting through the remains? I mean, what do they need to be concerned about? And is the mask even helping? Can they go back? I would just love a little bit more understanding around that.
Yeah, absolutely. So for sure, wear a mask. So if you can, wear an N100 mask. And N95 is okay, but it's not going to filter out all these small particles. So when we had these fires, there's large particles, and then there's a ton of small particles like VOCs that Dr. Ashley was talking about that don't get filtered out in these normal masks that we have. So I would recommend wearing extreme personal protective equipment, or if you're going to go back to your home, when you leave, take off your clothes, wash them, take a binder. So take something that's going to bind the toxins once you're exposed to them, because when you're going back, you're going to be exposed.
What's a binder?
So a binder is something like activated charcoal or chlorella, and it binds the toxins in your bloodstream and pulls them out of your body so they're not floating around. And I would also recommend maybe before or after, if you're going back, try to sweat it out. Go in a sauna or go outside and exercise and try to sweat out the toxins that you're being exposed to.
I'm learning so much already. I'm like, let's bring it back to the basics, right? So, Ashley, I know that you live in Malibu, and the Woolsey fires obviously ripped through there. What were some of the health concerns that you're seeing now from the Woolsey fires that we can hopefully mitigate in the future for these?
Sure. Well, the thing is, too, is when you're exposed to certain toxins, which happens right away, then it's really important. I mean, I'm a big fan of testing, so I love testing for toxins. I use a company called Vibrant America. They have total toxin tests. It checks for VOCs, heavy metals, and certain other contaminants. But if you think about in a fire, every single thing in the home burns. So plastic, car batteries, all of your appliances, everything that is extremely toxic, right? So we've all seen the pictures of the cars that burned and everything. And again, these are all extremely toxic. And another test I love is a hair tissue mineral analysis test that checks the heavy metals in the last 3 months of exposure. So luckily I did one right before the fire, and then I just sent one in to see the difference. And it's the same. I'm checking the toxin testing too. Do you have a question? Hair tissue mineral analysis.
What's the brand?
There's two companies that are popular, that are, I would say, ideal. There's Trace Elements and then Analytical Research Labs.
Did you get that? Trace Elements and Analytical Research Labs. And is that you're just taking a hair and you're sending it in?
A little bit more than just a hair, but
okay. Okay, like a chunk of hair?
You take a little bit and you send it in, and it just takes a couple weeks to get back, so it's really nice, but it shows your exposure within the last 3 months. So this is really great, especially if you're in an area affected by fire. I use this with all my clients anyway.
Okay.
But it's a really nice one. The total toxin test is more expensive, but gives you a lot more information. Because also and over 50% of homes have mold, and when those houses burn, it also releases the mold spores too.
And that's something I don't think we're talking about enough, is that mold gets released in the fires. So I actually want to pivot to that and understanding from your body's perspective, how can we take supplements and support our health with mold?
Okay, great question. So when it comes to mold, I, like Ashley, will always suggest testing. The total toxin test you talked about is one of my favorite tests. I do it on almost every single patient.
One more time for the name.
It's called the total toxin test.
Total toxin.
And yeah, we can talk more about it, but it's, you want to understand which mycotoxins. Mold secretes these mycotoxins, and those are what cause the issues in our body. And you want to understand which species are in your body, what's going on first. I never recommend personally and just detoxing out of nowhere at all. I get a lot of calls from people saying, oh, I tried this detox and now I feel terrible. There's a reason for that. The body needs to be prepared for a detox.
Like, what are you doing to prepare?
So
I'm going in with my toxins. Like, I don't know how to prepare for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So when it comes to detox, there's always different phases. Phase 1, you want to prepare the body. We have drainage pathways. We have specific organs that are meant for detox. And often when there's toxins in the body, these organs are clogged. So if you're trying to detox a very clogged body, they're not going to be coming out, and then you're not going to feel well.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do you do for that?
So when you want to prepare the body, you do things like sweating, sauna, right? That's one of our main forms of detox. We take things for lymphatic support. So if you've ever gotten a lymphatic drainage massage, that's helping move the toxins out of your body. So different supplements and herbs for lymphatic and liver support and kidney support. And then once the body feels more prepared, then we can start actually doing more antifungal therapy and things that will help kill things off in the body. But I don't start that until the body's very prepared, because detox can be very depleting on the system. So I want to make sure patients feel as good as they can before going into it. And then I also use things like peptides. I don't know. Yeah. So I use peptides to help modulate the immune system, because the immune system is very dysregulated when there's mold or any kind of toxins. And things like NAD as well to help build up the mitochondria and give people energy.
Oh, that's so helpful. I literally don't know any of this, so thank God we have you guys. I was wondering now, I'm always at going to the beach, and I'm like, can I go? Can I be there? It's so nerve-wracking because I feel like there's so much that we don't know, and we're just the guinea pigs of all this. So what can you help us understand about the air quality right now, especially, in these areas like Altadena, even Santa Monica, Malibu, Palisades? I mean, obviously, we're not going in the water. Can we hang out on the beach? What's happening? Am I wearing an N100 mask? Like, it's not casual.
Okay, so absolutely, yeah. We don't want to go in the water. All the rain we've had, the rain has been good for us, right? It's helped dissolve a lot of the toxins and clear them, but also it's pushed them into the ocean. The sand, however, has anyone gone to the beach recently? Have you noticed that the sand is kind of dark? So there's ash now mixed with the sand. So I wouldn't recommend, unfortunately, I would not recommend right now going and like playing volleyball if you see that the sand is really dark. I don't recommend that right now because then you're just, a lot of these toxins are hiding in the ash too. They get all mixed in, then they're mixed in with the sand, then the wind is carrying them, and then they're coming out of the ocean. So it's not really the safest thing to do right now.
Wow. Is there anything else? I know you really work with Chinese medicine, how we can support our bodies with other healing alternatives outside of like Western medicine for detoxing, et cetera.
Sure. So, one reason I love Chinese medicine is we look at the emotional component of each organ, or if you have something that is a symptom or illness, right? So, this fits especially well with lung issues and smoke inhalation and toxins because, in general, what we look at for the lungs is grief and sadness. And so a lot of people, there's a whole lot of trauma, obviously, with fires and losing people, losing their homes. And so a lot of people might have a specific organ or system that is weak. And for a lot of people, that actually is the lung and respiratory system. So one thing that I do is suggest some meditations or visualizations. So in Chinese medicine, the color for the lungs is white. So I have even little kids do this meditation or visualization to adults, but you just imagine, beautiful white color coming into your lungs and clearing them out, right? They look like little trees and branches. So if you just imagine that, clearing that out, it's very easy for little kids to do this. And then I usually pair this with an essential oil. So eucalyptus is very opening, frankincense is very healing. There are a lot that are great for the lungs and supportive. And then there's Chinese herbs too, but a lot of times if someone can do something right before bed that helps clear this out and help relieve some of the grief and sadness associated with these events, that also will help their lungs heal too.
It's so important to look at the whole body. And I think Western medicine's just isolated it, just the Band-Aid method, you know? And as we start to grow and learn, it's so important to address all of it. And that's why I love epigenetics, which is what you study, and the ability that our thoughts and these things can affect our body on a biological level.
Yep.
So thank you for that beautiful idea. Okay, where can everybody find you? We need you so much. How do we find you and stalk you forever?
So my practice is virtual, but I live in Malibu. And so my website is drashley.com, and I'm on Instagram, Dr. Ashley Beckman. So I put out a lot of content, and I'm always happy to share more and create more guides because, again, people need this information because a lot of this does come down to starting with your foundations. And when we don't have those in place, you don't start detoxing like you were mentioning. But a lot of us overlook sleep, clean air, clean food, clean water. All of these are really critical.
Turns out we need it all.
Stress reduction.
Right.
You can find me at conciergemdla.com. We are a nationwide practice. We practice virtually, and then also we do everything in home. So we'll do a test like the total toxin test in your home for you. Your lab draws are all in home, IV therapy, and then we have a booth right here, and I'll be doing free consults today for about from 12 to 2 p.m. if you guys want to do that. And then also, on Instagram, Dr. Sogol Ash, we put out a lot of content related to toxins, kind of overall health, hormones, and a newsletter with guides and, products that I like air filters and things like that as well.
Thank you so much for being here. And I'm Haely White, HaelyWhite. Yes, we have a question.
Just asked me, do you have a recommendation for a water purification, like pitcher in the kitchen?
Water purification Rex.
Yeah, my favorite is AquaTrue's reverse osmosis, and they have one that has a glass pitcher as well. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not super expensive. They do a really good job. You agree? Okay.
Same one.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, there you go. All right, one more question.
No, sorry. If we're in an area of LA that's not so close, like Hancock Park, for example, should we still be wearing a mask?
Should we still be wearing a mask? She's saying if we're not in like the actual areas that were affected.
So currently with the rain, the air quality has gotten better. I'd be mindful of looking at the AQI. It doesn't measure everything, but it's still a good indicator. And once the cleanup starts around the city, I'd be mindful of that as well. Like once ash starts, things start to aerosolize again. I don't know what your opinion is on it.
Yeah, again, it's all different, right, wherever you are, and it can change daily. So I think it's Purple Air is another app that's easy. And again, I don't tell my clients to wear a mask every day outside, but again, be mindful. Everything is so individualized on your own health, your own history, where you are in LA, and then even day to day. So I would just keep monitoring things, and with the kids, right?
Yeah.
But okay, so this is the thing, and we kind of touched on it, but maybe not enough. I'm also a huge fan of binders. So there are very specific binders that you can use for little kids they're all safe, but I think pretty much we all have to be on binders because just between the pesticides and now that we have a lot more heavy metal exposure in the air and VOCs, these just should be part of regular health regime that we have.
So I know we're wrapping up, but a quick
Yes.
protocol on the binders. Like, how are we taking those? What are we?
Yeah.
Is there brands for children?
So I use different ones, but I tend to go with a fulvic humic base. So I use but some of these are strong, and I wouldn't. You don't just take them on your own.
All right. We got to
Especially for
follow
kids.
them. We got to get more information.
Yeah, we both work with kids. We work with families. That's probably both of our favorite thing because everybody in the home needs support. But yeah, I would highly not suggest to just go pick up binders in the mom groups that are always mentioned and things like that. It's still very individualized and goes low and slow, always.
I 100% agree with that. I think everyone should be on some sort of liver support and binder these days because we're bombarded by toxins no matter how healthy we live our lives. For kids, something I do like is a nebulizer. Really easy thing you put on. It's like you buy it on Amazon, you put a mask on, and you can nebulize some saline. It can clean out the lungs. Really good for when they're sick as well. They're also herbs. But I 100% agree. Please don't just take binders out of nowhere, especially with kids. So detox really needs to be individualized. So consult with someone, whether it's us or someone else.
Awesome. Please put your hands together for Dr. Ashley Beckman and Dr. Sogol Ash. Thank you so much, ladies.